Hi there. Welcome to Wholeview Farm. It is Saturday, February 3rd. We are out getting ready to move some sheep and goats. So thanks for joining. I want to talk a little bit about our temporary fence wires here. We're using poly braid. It's the mixed metal poly braid. And we got the Terragate reels that we like to use. We do our corners in kind of a unique way. I haven't seen anybody else do this, so I wanted to share. We take one of our O'Brien step-in posts and we use it as a brace against just a standard tape post we get them from our local ag center. And we just kind of, it's a little tricky, we just kind of hook that. Let's see if I can get in here without getting shocked. Hit that tab around that tab there, and you stick this vertical in the ground, and you just kind of put a little flex on that and put it in and give yourself a nice stable corner brace there. So that works really well for us. Another thing we do is we use a pigtail post as a reel hanger here, and then we use another one of these white kind of standard posts as an insulator to keep the poly braid from touching the metal and grounding out down there. And I already unhooked this one. I'm going to take this line going off to the right down. We're going to let the sheep up into this first strip. It's about probably a little less than a quarter acre, about 0.2 acres I'd guess, and a lot of snow on it, but we're supposed to get temps up into the mid 40s all the way up to 50s this week. So I expect the snow is going to vanish pretty quick. And we're going to be strip grazing here. We're going to head right down this next row. You can see to the right is where they've been on already, and we put down some hay during the snowy parts. And then to the left here is the new forage. We got some hazelnut trees. We got from our neighbor, gave us some nuts. He got his bushes from Mark Shepard, so that's kind of cool. Sort of second generation genetics there. So we're trying to get some plantings going through our pasture here. We're really going to convert this whole thing into a silvo pasture, but we want some areas the animals can shelter, get some extra forage, some shade. So we'll be working on that over the next few years. Where we're at here is 26 acres up top. It was a tilled farm field when we got here. The first year we had the property, we let a local farmer use it. He planted oats as a small grain crop, and in exchange for use of the field, he included our pasture mix into his seed hoppers when he was seeding his oats. So we planted everything at the same time, a polycultured pasture mix with some warm season grasses, cool season grasses, some forbs. We added some plantains, some chicory, some different forage crops that we knew would help revitalize the soil and also be good sheep feed. Since we're raising sheep, we can be a little more flexible on what our pastures have, and kind of get that diversity going. Well, the dogs are here checking out the new paddock. Just gonna take a little look here. It's pretty interesting. You can actually see here's some green clover coming up. Some of the legumes we included in our pasture mix were red clover, white clover, and bird's foot trefoil, and all of those came up. You don't see the bird's foot this time of year, but it sure is nice during the warmer months. I've got a mix of grasses here. See, hi Gertie. Let's see if I can figure out what we got in here. I think this is some fescue. We did buy from Walter Seed and Honey out of Iowa. It's not an endophyte free fescue, but it's got a non-toxic endophyte. So we figured we'd give that a shot. Yeah, that's a fescue. So that's what's coming up here that's still green. And yeah, it's idea is that it has the endophyte that normally produces toxicity in animals, but this is a different strain of that endophyte that does not produce any toxins. So hopefully that gets established and becomes predominant. But if not, I mean, we're, you know, taking a page from Greg Judy saying that fescue's a good thing, right? It's green here in February, giving us some protein, some green forage, and we're gonna select our animals to be able to thrive on that. That's what we're gonna be choosing for. Hi, Griffin. Yeah. So we've got a little bit of chicory there, I think. No, that's a dandelion. This taller stuff here is all chicory. We had a lot of chicory in here. The seed didn't get mixed very well, so it is kind of a hodgepodge. There's a whole area over the hill there that's nothing but plantains, which is going to be challenging to remedy. But here we got a lot of chicory came up, and that's a great plant. You know, it's got a really deep taproot that's going to help us break up the compaction from the tillage this field's experienced in its lifetime, and it's good medicine for the sheep. It's a natural dewormer, so happy to have it. And they hit it pretty hard. We were here grazing last July with the sheep, and they hit it pretty hard, just the tender green leaves. And now in the winter they're going after some of these seeds, or munching a little bit of that taller stuff as we go. Okay, let's go move some feeders. One is our mineral feeder, free choice minerals. It's about 400 pounds, so moving that one by hand is not going to be an option. That's why we use a four-wheeler. Now I got to go get the dog food. This is our Greg Judy style dog feeder. It's just a small one single feeder with it's like a 10-inch opening down here. It's worked well for us over the past year. See, we like to peek and make sure you can kind of tell. Yeah, they've been in there eating. I'll pull the food forward. We'll do that after I move it, then I can tell that they've been getting in there. Now that we've got two dogs, I think we need an upgrade, so that'll be a thing to build a bigger one. You know, we want to convert this front entrance. We haven't had any issues with the sheep or the goats. Well, I should say that the sheep have gotten in there a couple times. They haven't eaten the food, but I think in the warmer months they like to lay against this. They just like having some structure on their back, and a couple times we've come out and found a sheep in there. And I think what happens is they lay down right here at the entrance and roll over and then stand up inside. So I've had to jump in there and lift them out a couple times, but I don't think they don't try to get in there, and they haven't gone after the feed at all. And so far the goats haven't either. But we're going to replace this front with a different style opening. Well, probably build a new feeder that's a little bit longer and has openings on both sides. And then we'll use a little different style opening just to just to make sure the goats don't get in there and start eating the dog food, because that'll get old fast, and I think once they get a taste for it, it'll be a lot harder to keep them out. So yeah, we'll another project on the project list. Take a look here. Yeah, they are loving it. There's still some clover in there, some chicory, some grasses. They are all about it. So I think we're gonna have way more hay than we need this year, which is kind of a surprise. We were kind of nervous about that. We've been in a really bad drought here, dead center in the middle of D4 drought. I think we got 2 inches of rain from beginning of June till end of August, something like that. So hay's expensive and short supply. Forage has not grown back. Crops did not do well, but this is pretty good. I mean, we grazed this field in July. It's not a ton of growth, but it's enough, and they are happy to have some fresh forage instead of some dried hay. So we're happy to give it to them, because all it costs us is some time moving fences, some sunlight, and as you can see, not much water. Really glad we got this snow. We got about somewhere between 12 and 24 inches of snow in January, and glad to have it. We desperately needed it.